Well, I guess we can start, bro. How you been? First of all, you weren't here last
Let's do it.
last week, last episode.
Yeah, I've been I got kidnapped 4 times, and yeah, I be like that sometimes,
You be
but
like that sometimes.
really do. It really do. You just get kidnapped out of nowhere and then yeah.
So what'd you do last week, bro? What'd you do last week? Tell.
Honestly, I have no idea. I just went out a lot, beach, parties, during the coronavirus because I'm a savage and also stupid. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, going out is also important, especially nowadays. But at the same time, take proper
Yeah.
precautions. I have been walking as well. I've been walking out, been getting this exercise, this a little bit of cardio every now and then.
Bro,
Yeah.
you walk for 30 minutes. What are you talking about?
For 30 minutes is way better than
I'm
zero.
exposing you.
It's
I'm
way
exposing you right
it's
now.
way better than 0 minutes, bro. I'm telling you.
You should just do push-ups and stuff at home.
I do.
That's more than enough. Cardio can
Nah, I'm
SMD,
still
bro.
walking. I'm still walking. I'm not even
Cardio.
doing it for the exercise. You have any idea how tranquil I get whenever I'm walking? Or like people in
I
general?
don't get. No, I don't. I don't know.
It's so serene and just so calming to just walk.
Is it?
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
meditate.
I mean, for some people like Ryan Holiday, he doesn't necessarily meditate. He just walks. He takes walks every day, and that's meditation for
But when
him.
you're walking, you're not meditating. You're not,
Or
it's not, it's
it's
different.
not. It's a stillness. It's not really meditation, but
A lot of people
stillness.
are like, "Oh, I walk my dog," and I'm like, that's when I have the time to myself and think and stuff like that. But not really. You don't really really think 100% unless you're sitting down, not talking, not doing anything, but
Yeah,
thinking.
well, I feel like there's more than one way to get to two other than one plus one. You feel me? You can go four minus two. You can go one times one. You can
You
go
know what?
a
Let's
hundred
not
minus
even.
a
Let's
hundred
let's not
minus
even.
99.
Okay, let's not do that. Okay, just flexing your Asian on us. Stop it.
Bro,
Stop it, bro.
you're Asian too.
But like I'm a dumb Asian. Like it's different. It's
Alright,
different.
so what
Anyways,
we talking about today, bro? What we talking about?
okay, so first of all, I just want to put out a disclaimer. We're gonna be talking about relationships here.
Yes, sir.
Um, we are not experts. We are just stating and regurgitating information our
Regurgitating.
yeah, from our experiences in the past. With past relationships, how we grew up. I think we're gonna be talking about really the mindset of how
Yeah.
like finding out like who, what, when, where, how, why, all that stuff
But like
on
you
either
said,
finding
I was
a
gonna
partner.
actually I was actually gonna do all the who, what, where, when, why, and how in this video, like in this talk. But you said that every question, every W, should be a different episode of the series, and I mean it's
Yeah,
pretty
I feel
fire.
like that would be good because the thing is, I this is a topic that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, yeah,
And I feel like I can talk about it with you for hours on end,
definitely,
and
definitely.
even just on one of the hows,
And I
or
feel
one of the
like
W's, I mean.
yeah, 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 and I get this a lot that I feel as if I'm, or maybe you get this as well, that I get a little preachy when it comes to things like this, like self help and other
Hell
things.
yeah, brother.
But
Yeah,
but
dude.
at the same time, it's like you can't help it if it's a passion. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
help
yeah.
but sound a little preachy and a little bit condescending. But at the same time, it's like if you have anything that
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
passionate
You kind
about,
of feel like a dad,
yeah, yeah,
It's like yeah, teaching your son or something, but
yeah, definitely.
in reality, you probably don't even take your own advice. That's like the
Mhm.
biggest thing. Yeah. I know I do that. I tell somebody one thing and I'm like when you're in the emotion, when you're
Yeah.
filled up with emotion and your thoughts are clouded, you just don't
Definitely,
know how to
definitely,
think, right?
definitely. I was watching JRE podcast with Jocko, and
Jocko,
yeah,
that's my guy right there.
yeah, that's
That's
my
my guy.
yeah, and basically they were both talking about social media and about how it ties into what's going on right now, and a lot of people are actually just posting without even taking action. They think that posting is taking action is the same as taking action, but what it doesn't fix the problem. It makes it worse by involving other people who are not even they're just living their lives, and then you
Hmm.
involve them in this, and then they get frustrated and
What do you
emotional.
mean by posting? Posting what?
Like
Posting
sharing posts. How about that? Like
like
no, no, no,
quotes and
no, no,
stuff
no.
like
Like
that, or
videos. Oh, my bad. So videos of what's going on right now, especially like
okay,
the
or like
rallies
recent.
and
Okay, like
yeah, about the
right. I
recent
get you.
yes, about the recent events, about what's
Okay.
going on right now, especially in America. And what they're
Hmm.
doing is they're sharing these posts, thinking that it's the same as taking action and making the world better. But at this, what it ultimately does, it just makes the other person who's seeing your post emotional. And what Jocko is saying, that these posts you get emotional and you don't think logically, so you share it again and then more people become emotional, and then it's just a whole cluster f of just emotional people. And now it led to people wanting to defund the police and stuff like that I don't really want to get into, but basically it's
Don't.
just crazy,
Please
bro.
don't.
It's crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you right there
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
I feel like we're getting a little bit off track here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So which W or H are we talking about tonight, today, this episode?
Let's go with who, bro. Let's go with who.
Okay, so you
So
decided on who because we were talking about either who or why before, right?
yeah, definitely,
Um,
because those two are
so
the basis and the foundation of.
maybe we'll talk about both of it, you know, who and why.
I mean, yeah,
Because
okay, okay.
I'm kind of starting to realize that why is kind of very like it's very important as a basis as a base to start off on,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Um, honestly, I think we should talk about why.
We
Why, you know, because we're talking about relationships. We're not talking about okay,
okay.
okay.
I
So
so why, right? So the question is, why should you be in a relationship? Answer that real quick, Farrell. Why should
okay,
you get in a
so
relationship?
I have a lot of ideas in my head because relationship is a very wide
Yeah,
topic,
it's a
right?
vague
Um,
topic.
it's a very big topic because you can say relationship as a friendship as well because
Uh
a
huh.
friendship is a relationship.
Uh huh.
So I'm just gonna talk about it all, right?
Okay.
In general here. Um, when you want to get into a relationship, whether it be a friendship, a a situationship, a fling, whatever it is, because you know full well your decisions to go into that relationship, you are basically what is it called? Like you have to figure out what your intentions are with that person.
Yes.
You go and you don't just go into it just to get into it, you know? You're going into something because you're getting something back from it. You're getting something back, whether it be accompaniment, whether it be sexual energy, whether it be um, just full on, just like somebody you can talk to, or you can either do that or what is it called, like connections, finding
Yeah.
people who can get you up to other places. Basically, what I'm saying is there your intentions are different for each like relationship that you're going into.
Yes. It's like you're not your intention for a friend isn't the same as your relationship for with your parents, or with your parents with your boss, or for your
Right.
boss your teacher and stuff like that. So every relationship has different intentions and
Hmm.
basically
So
mindset.
let's focus on
I guess we can focus on
intentions in a relationship, like a
a romantic
someone you
relationship.
want, a romantic relationship that you want to get into, like you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend, something that you
Mhm.
want to make public, something that you want to
Mhm.
um you know
Mhm.
you know
I
stuff.
I'm gonna
I don't
go
know where I was going there.
I'm gonna go with a traditional mindset, and because we're both very spiritual person, we're both religious, I would say, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, very.
what I can say is, Paul. I'm go with Corinthians real quick, and basically
My guy.
this was this quarrel in Corinth with the Corinthians, and basically a lot of people were having relationships with different people, and basically what was going on is that one guy would say have multiple girls, or one girl would have multiple guys, but they weren't married. They were just having a fling or whatever. And Paul said, why don't you just have one and marry one person? Because so that you won't transgress in the path of what do you call this? Pangangalo niya in Tagalog. It's like adultery, I think. Yeah, yeah, adultery. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
transgress into
Mm-hmm.
adultery. And so yeah, so just one person. And also he was saying that
Ooh.
and also he
Mm-hmm.
was saying that for so that your flesh, your lust, basically your needs and desires for the flesh will be fulfilled just with that one person, and with that one person you wouldn't transgress then in the path of adultery. And that's for me too. The why would be one, because I'm into monogamy and just one relationship. So
For the
you
rest
would,
of your life.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
basically you would go there, right? You would take the path of a relationship in order
Mm-hmm.
a not to be not to transgress into adultery, and b also so that your needs and your fleshly desires would be fulfilled too.
So, okay, I interpret this in different ways because, as you know, I'm not. um, I am a monogamist. I definitely believe in one person that you should marry
Uh-huh.
and live with the rest of your life, and I don't believe in divorce.
Yes, yes.
The reason why I guess I'm picky and like I scour and I try different things, I try different people is because I want to get to that point of fulfilling, I guess, your lust into one person for the rest of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, like you say, yeah, you should, fulfill. Why don't you just fulfill your lust with one person? Okay, I want to do that. 100%, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's the person that I choose. That person has to be the right person for me for the rest of my life. That's the rest of my life. That's a long time.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna take like everything in the world, trial and error, right? You live and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the point of dating is. The point of dating and the point of having sexual relationships with people. Like, okay, you don't if you want to save yourself for marriage, stuff like that. Cool, good on you. But for me, I just have not, right?
Yeah.
I just have not. Um, but basically, back to like why you want to get into a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's for you yourself. You have to find the right reasons for you to
Yes.
want to get into a relationship. Because here's the thing: if you're if you're a very sad person, if you're depressed, if you're and you're trying to find a person, a relationship
To fill that hole.
to fill that hole, to find that happiness, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out
You're
because here's the thing.
yeah. It's like trying to
Um,
fix an intrinsic problem with extrinsic solutions. It's not. It's never gonna
mhm.
happen. It's never gonna happen.
Because here's the thing. That person may be happy one day. You might be happy with that person one day. The next day, you're just not.
Yeah.
Something happens. Like God forbid, but shit happens, right?
Yeah.
And you never know what's gonna happen, and it's gonna make you even worse because if you're putting your whole happiness on this one person, right?
Yeah.
You're putting everything in one basket, right? Putting
Mm-hmm.
all the eggs in one basket, and that basket is gone.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like business, man. If you put your source of income into one basket, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have one source of income
Mm-hmm.
and that source of income is gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you gonna get your money from? So just like relationship, if you put happiness into this one person, just this one person,
Mm-hmm.
and that person goes, right? Because you're afraid this person's gonna leave, right? So you're gonna do things that's gonna make her want to leave, right? That's the
Yeah.
reality of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
And what you said actually brought up a really good point. I forgot who said this, but if you're going in a path and basically you see a post, right? Okay,
mhm,
so you're driving straight and all that's in your mind is I'm not gonna hit that pole. I'm not gonna hit that pole. I'm not gonna hit that pole. What ends up
mhm,
happening is you actually hit the pole because
right,
all your oh, I was watching a video on Clark Kegley, right? He was summing up this
okay,
book by Tony
sure,
Robbins, and he said, where thoughts flow, where thoughts flow, energy goes. I think, and if your thought
mhm,
is trying not to get this person away from you, that's what's gonna end up happening. You end up being clingy, you end up pleasing her for the sake of her ego and not your own personal
Right.
happiness, and it's basically just you're gonna hit that pole. You're gonna hit that pole. No matter how wide the road is, you're still gonna hit that pole if all you're thinking about is not to hit the pole.
Right. And I think it's the same thing. Like, if I tell you to close your eyes and I tell you don't think about dogs, what are you gonna do? You're gonna
You're
think
gonna
about
hit
dogs,
yeah, yeah.
right? So that I feel like is the same thing. Like, because I'm gonna get to a little bit off topic here for a little bit, but for meditation, because I meditate, and I don't know if you do, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We talked about it, but when I meditate, a lot of people, when I try to get them into it, are thinking, they close their eyes and they shut them tight and they go peace, 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 and they're trying to find peace, they're
Yeah.
trying to find it. But if you keep telling yourself peace, 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 here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna find all the distractions around you that's keeping you away from that peace.
Uh-huh.
People talking, people walking, the birds chirping. Like, it's supposed to be a good thing, but here you're trying to find peace and you want absolute silence, but here's the thing, you get distracted,
Yeah.
right? So if you just think about whatever you want when you're meditating, because meditating is freedom, meditating is awareness, right? If you just be aware that you're thinking, right? And you just be okay with everything around you, you'll be fine. Welcome everything, welcome. If pain comes, if like a panic attack comes, just welcome it, say hi, like, hey, welcome to my head, like we're cool.
Yeah.
But that's what meditation is. But okay, we're getting off track. Back to what we are saying about why you should be in a relationship. um so you have to choose the right intention, right, for and the right person, right? Your
Yes.
intention has to be, me and you we're gonna grow together because I
Yes.
like you,
Yes.
right? And it should be mutual. That
Yes.
should be the same intention for that person too, because if that person says, I just want you because I want to fuck you, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I want you because I want you to be my wife, I want you to be the love of my life forever.
I want you to fill this hole.
No, if like, I want you to accompany me and we're gonna grow together, do everything together.
Right,
If
right.
that's your mindset, and the girl's mindset or even the guy's mindset is different from yours, you guys are not mutual. First of all, there's a lack in communication there,
Yes.
right? And because of that lack of communication, you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. Because a
You know what I'm
relationship is
saying?
partly an agreement as well.
It is. It's a contract.
Yes.
It's a verbal contract. So, um, what you gotta do is you gotta make what
I hear I
this is
hear
what I
I
do.
hear plates and spoons. No,
Oh, that's my bad.
it's all
My
good.
parents
It's
are
all
cooking
good.
right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Just ignore that, guys. Don't listen to it. Oh wait, now you're gonna listen to it because I said don't listen to it. But basically, what I was trying to say was, um, basically, you need a person who has mutual agreement, and this is what I do, right? Whenever I'm trying to get into a new relationship with somebody, okay, I sit them down and I talk to them like adults because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Childish stuff is getting your emotions and stuff like that ahead of you. Cloud your thoughts and stuff like that. You're not supposed to do that. Sit them down and talk with them as adults. Tell them exactly what you want. Set your boundaries, right? Set your rules. Tell them exactly what you want, and tell them, and they tell you exactly what they want,
Yes.
and then you compromise. Now that's a verbal agreement. You don't want a verbal agreement because verbal agreements can be like anything with words. It can be translated differently. It could be, you could forget it and stuff like that, right? So what you want to do is you want to write down those verbal agreements that you guys have compromised, and once you do that, it's evidence. It's on paper. Like, you both have that, and you can always go back to it. Whenever you mess up or whatever. And I'm not saying that you won't mess up, but I'm just saying that this prevents you, and this prevents any further problems. Because here's the thing: if you have a verbal agreement and one person goes, but I told you not to do whatever, and then the other person goes, oh, I don't remember that, you don't have anything to back it up,
I feel like this is
right?
where the scriptures, for me, ties in very well to what you're saying, because a lot of Christian couples, they abide by not what they want, not their desires, but what's written and what the will of the Lord is. And basically, which ties into what you said, because if it's just a verbal agreement and one person says, "Oh, I don't remember that," But if both of you have a mutual understanding and it's based on whatever it is, for me, it'd be the Bible and God's words. If it's based on that, then there shouldn't be any problem.
Right. Right. And that's the truth of it, you
Yeah.
know?
So it has to be based
If
on something.
mhm. If both of you know what's up, you know, you can't just go, "Oh, I don't remember that," or like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this. I didn't know," you know? You're like,
Mm.
"Yes, you did know. We talked about this. We sat down and we wrote it down, and it's on your notes. It's on your photos. It's on whatever." Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you understand the agreements. You agree to them, and you messed up. I'm gonna forgive you. Okay, this is me. I'm gonna forgive you, but don't do it again. And if you do it again, that's it. You're out. You
Yeah.
have one chance. You have one chance. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And
So
I feel as though you don't necessarily have to go to the extent of dating to try or to peer out. I would say to scout, to scout. Oh, me acting like a douchebag here. But basically, going back to our, I feel like it'd be our.
going for the hunt,
I feel like
like
this would be
stuff.
both of us. This our favorite book, The 48 Laws of Power. Oh, no, no, no. This is The Art of Seduction. Yeah, which is
That's not my favorite book.
no, but it's by the same author. So basically, The Art of Seduction. The first step of anything, of any seduction, is to find the right target. And to find that right target, you don't necessarily have to date. You don't even have to say look at them, or I say you don't have to go to the extent of dating, is what I'm trying to say. And you could just be friends with them and try to know them through friendship. And if that friendship is not going to work out, how do you think a relationship, which is a step, I mean like a mile ahead of a friendship, is going to work out for you if at friendship, if at base level you
Hmm.
can't even be, acquainted with each other, or
Exactly.
you don't even match. So
Exactly.
like we're both in the master class of Chris Boss. It's like um you can just not even talk. You could just ask questions, right, as a conversation, and mirror their.
Or not even. You don't have to ask questions. You can even like, if they're reacting to you a certain way, you just say,
Oh, and body language.
like,
Yes, yes.
yeah, it seems like you're uncomfortable, and then they
Yeah.
tell you why.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
I guess we can both agree that you don't have to go to the extent of dating, but that's just you. You go out and date and you try it out and see if it works. But for me, it'd be friendship. Just try to
Hmm.
test it out. If you fit at base level and you can be at base level and fortify that
Hmm.
base, then you can build upon that base and around that foundation. But
I feel
yeah,
like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like this is very important. I feel like we can define, what fits. What fits is you're putting in effort and they're giving that same effort back. That's what I believe fitting is, you know? Because
mm.
if either one person
but
doesn't,
wait, just to get this straight. Yes, the same
okay, yeah.
effort, but towards the same goal. Because you can put the same effort, both of you, but if it's for different goals, then it's a cluster F. It's screwed either way. You feel me?
Hmm. I got you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I understand.
same effort, same goal, same everything. Because yeah, like going back to what you said, a relationship is an agreement. So both of you have to agree on something.
Right. Very, yeah, I agree with that. So, I feel like that's it for why, right?
Yeah, that's it for why.
Basically, to sum it up, don't go into a relationship for the wrong reasons. With the
Mm-hmm.
wrong reasons being, just for happiness, or just because, uh, like emotional decision. Don't make an emotional decision of a relationship, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because in the end, it's an agreement, and you're trying to do it for a long period of time. If your intention is to go, oh, I just want a fling, or I just want like a 3 month
Yeah, and
thing,
I have this list, and I have to have like five
right?
girls by the end of the month. I have to stack
That
up
if
these
if
numbers.
you are that person, it's okay to be that person. I'm not judging you, but be honest with the
Yes.
person that you're doing it with.
Yes.
Because here's the thing: if you're not honest with that person, they're just gonna hate you more, and it's gonna be a worse thing. So just tell them straight up, and if they reciprocate your feelings, if they want to do the same thing, cool. If they don't, cool. find another girl,
Yeah.
find another guy, you
Mhm.
know? So,
Let's go with
yeah.
who. Let's go with who, bro.
Yeah.
I guess I can start this.
So,
Oh,
yeah, you should start it off. You should start off who?
alright. So who should be the right target? So yeah, going back to what we both said, I feel as though, well, who, right? So let's say that you've already taken the step of scouting, scouting, finding the right person, and the who has to be a person whom you share your values, your goals with. It can't just be because she's attractive, and it can't just be because she smells nice. It can never be an extrinsic factor. The moment you find someone and you say, I pick her or him because of extrinsic or outer factors, that's, I feel like, is when you get a little bit hollow because you're just looking at what's outside. It's like an empty shell, rather. And I feel as though if you find the right value within a person and you stay within that, I feel like you found the right person for me.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess. You know, I mean, I can't really say that, finding the right person, I can't really say that because I still haven't. Because if I did, I would have been married by now,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
I
Also,
would
I'm
have.
not saying that. I'm not saying that everything would be perfect. I'm not saying that there wouldn't be any broken dishes. Because that's every
Broken
relationship.
china, yeah.
that's every. It's every person. It's every person. No matter how perfect
Any
you think.
relationship.
Yeah, I feel like no matter how perfect you seem or you think a relationship is gonna get, it'll have ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. Especially because a relationship has a lot of emotional factors and
So many
uh,
layers.
yeah, so many layers. And basically, if you don't have those value, if both of you don't sync, don't be in sync, then yeah, I feel like it'd be a problem.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. Um, yeah, who? Oh, okay. All right. You can talk in the background. That's cool. I mean, whatever. So who? Um, yeah, I think for me, finding the right person is very difficult because I'm a very picky person. I know exactly what I want.
Yeah,
That's the first step, is knowing what you want
yeah,
out of a person. Because the fact of the matter is, you will find yourself chasing somebody if you become infatuated with that person's looks and not that personality,
mm,
right? You can be infatuated, you can get obsessed, and that's what I was doing, you know? It's not healthy, but you can get over it. You can get past the looks and you can finally look at who they are for what they are.
yeah.
And it might be a good thing and it might be a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's on you to choose.
And
Because the
also,
thing is,
I feel as though what you just said. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
mhm,
it should be. It shouldn't be actually. It shouldn't be based on looks, like what you said, because what came to mind was those really old couples. I mean, looks wise, everybody's looks is gonna deteriorate. But why are they still together? It's because years and years ago, the same feeling is happening like 50 years from like 50 years in the future. The same feeling are still there. Like that's why you gotta love a person for who they are, but not what
mhm.
they look.
Right? Yeah, okay. Right. I get you. I understand what you mean. Um, I wouldn't say feeling though, because feelings, they temporary, they come and go. But it's mostly a recurring feeling,
Yes.
that even though you guys mess up or whatever, you guys go back to that home feeling, right? Um, at least once in a while or whatsoever. Um, yeah, I honestly lost the train of thought that I was going with my other rant, but um, honestly, I have no idea.
So Who,
What
right?
was I talking about, dude?
You were talking about extrinsic looks, like outer looks, and how it
Oh,
shouldn't be based on
okay.
that.
It shouldn't be based on looks. It should be mostly on the personality, right?
Yes.
Obviously. But I'm not saying don't be attracted by looks, because looks is important as well. It's a very important decision, because not only would you want to be attracted to this person physically, you want to be attracted to this person, or more so like genetically. That's what I look for, honestly. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but it's more like how I want my kids to be, how I want my kids to look like, how I want my kids to act a certain way. If they have like, it's good to take information on that person too, like, um, you know, um, any health issues on their family side and stuff like that. Because here's the thing, when you breed, you're not doing it for you. You're breeding for the future. You're breeding for your children, right? You're breeding um because because you want to continue your legacy, right? And
Yes.
you want a long legacy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's important to take notes on that too. So I'm not saying that physical attractiveness is not important. It's very important. That's what attracts you in the
But
first
it's
place.
not the whole thing. It's not the
But
entire
it's not the
equation.
whole thing. Exactly. It's not the whole thing. You have to look inside, look within, and find their personality. Because I mean, if going back to intention, if you're just doing it just to do it,
Yeah. I feel like
um,
that's also why I messed up in the past.
mhm,
It was fling, and basically as a 14-year-old kid, as a 14, 15, year old kid, I mean, you're going through phases. You're going through a lot of emotions. You're going through a lot of
you're going through
cycles.
changes.
Going through changes, you feel me? And
Big mouth.
and yeah, if you're going through emotions a lot, I feel like you'd want a relationship just like that. And that's where I messed up, because I looked for the first person that would fill this emotion, right? And
Mhm.
I based it off on looks. We weren't even friends for like, this was like, say, freshman year started September. I was already dating by October. Like, bro, what? Looking back at it, I'm just like, bro, stop being governed by your own emotions. Think logically. And we ended up having like this whole 3 years of just, bro, it was just a psychological roller coaster, and it was just really toxic for me and for her. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm
Yeah, it
perfect,
takes
and
two. It takes two to
it
break.
takes two to break. And I feel like if, only if, I would have became friends a little bit longer, if I would have just laid that foundation, or maybe not set up that foundation, because the soil, right, the ground was already broken, right? So you go ahead and be friends with a different person. And I feel like that would have saved me a lot of time, right? A lot of wasted time. But I mean, it's not wasted
No,
in
don't say
the
that
in the
because you
point.
learned.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it was, yeah, like what you said. I wouldn't say that it was wasted, because I did learn from it. But at the same time, if I would have known then what I know now, it would have been a little bit different. Basic human life choices, ladies and gentlemen. Basic, but
That's the
with
point of life, You live and you
emotions,
learn.
with emotions, you tend to put facts and true facts right in the back of your head.
Yeah, you're blinded by love, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's what's called infatuation.
Yes.
And that was where I was recently, and before too. Like, it recurs, it's recurring. It's like that one person that you just can never let go of, and it's hard. It's hard to get out of it. But once you really look into the facts, and this comes back to what you want, right? Because here's the thing, you want her or you want him to benefit your life,
Yes.
right? You're obviously benefiting their life as well, right? Because they chose you. You have to be their best option, right? You have to feel like, I feel like the reason why a lot of people get jealous and a
Mm.
lot of people get um yeah, jealous, is because they in themselves feel that they're not the best option.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people set up these rules. They set up like, oh, don't talk to these guys, block this guy, block that guy, block this girl, block that girl, don't like this girl's pictures. It is insecurity. I will tell you that 100%. It is insecurity, right?
Yes.
And it's the fact that you don't believe your. First of all, you have trust issues. Let me tell you that much, right? And if you say I can't get rid of it, I can't get rid of my trust issues, you have to look into yourself and ask yourself the question, why don't I trust myself? Because here's the
Yes.
thing: if you don't trust others, that means you don't trust yourself.
Yes.
You don't trust yourself enough that you are the best option. And because you don't trust that, you don't trust that person to not leave you, right?
Yes.
So you have to first, it comes with everything. If you want to love others, you got to love yourself.
Yes.
If you want to trust others, you got to trust yourself.
Yes. Do
But
you
if you
want?
don't do that, if you don't trust or love yourself, you're not going to go anywhere in a relationship.
Yes.
Anywhere.
That's the golden
And
rule
that's a,
too, bro.
yeah, it's a very, very important piece of advice that I could give anyone. And that is what I'm dealing with right now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of trusting, a lot of trust issues, and the only reason is because here's the thing: a lot of people, they tell bad. So when somebody does something wrong to you, right, and you look at that person, right, and you forgive that person. Here's the thing: forgiveness. If you don't forgive 100%, you're never gonna look at that person the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: when you look at that person's face again, you don't see the same person. It's like who it's like,
That's what I
wow,
keep.
all.
That's what I keep telling you, bro.
And it's like, and it's not even like you look at this, it's not the same person. It's more like you look at that person and all you see is the negative side of that person because of that one thing,
Yes.
right? And so now that person's just chasing your trust back. But here's the thing: that person's never gonna look at you the same way again unless right, that person and both of you start seeing each other in a positive light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're telling yourself a negative story about that person, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that person is this, this, and this. But
Mm-hmm.
once you start changing that story, right? Because our mind is very powerful, right? If you start changing that story and say, this person is a good, kind, caring person who cares for me when I'm there. Yeah, he has flaws or she has flaws. Yeah, whatever. All in all, this person is caring. He's been there for me, and you look at them at a positive light, right? Once you start doing that, you start to find out that when you look at that person, you 100% trust them again.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And that's not saying that you should be blind, right? You should be blind to mistakes that are going to happen. Mistakes are always going to happen. They're always going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I set up an agreement and all that stuff, written agreement.
And what you
But
said,
this all ties back.
yeah, what you said too earlier. The point you said before was you're never gonna look at the person the same way if because you're just looking at that one mistake. And I feel like if you want to fix trust, for me, and this is just me. I'm not saying that I have the answers, but this is just for me because I had like a person, right? I had a person, and this person, she wanted my trust back. She basically wanted to be together. I gave it a try. I met up with her again. I talked with her, and basically we caught up. We weren't like trying to get back to dating. I'm just saying we wanted to see what was going on. I said maybe, hey, maybe she changed. Maybe she's a different person, right? Maybe. And mind you, this is practically the second time I've done this. Second time I've done this. Maybe she's changed. Maybe she's a different person. Maybe she's better. So I met up with her. Next bloody morning, bro. Oh, I'm just laughing because you were the one who broke the news. She was like, you were like, oh, so that's what she was talking about. Wait. What do you mean?
Uh,
She basically said that last night her night was wasted. I go, what do you mean night was wasted? Oh, basically she thought she was gonna do this, but you both did this and blah 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 blah. And basically she said that you wasted her time. I was like, what? Because she said She said she had fun. She said she had a great time. And I was like, okay, she had fun. She had a great time. Basically, what she wanted was to close, right? She basically wanted to know why I didn't. Well, why I broke up with her and like the reasons why. I did give her the reasons though. I did. I gave her the reasons, but mostly it was catching up. But I did give her the reason. I answered her question. But she wanted more. And it was just two-faced for me because she okay, so we were let's side story real quick. So that day, that afternoon where we met up, she met up with a friend, right? She didn't like the friend, but she was extremely nice to her. And when well, she didn't like the friend, and
Oh,
basically, yeah, basically, what happened was after that whole meetup, after that whole greet, we went out. I mean, we went to Starbucks. She bought something, and basically, I was like, "Who was that guy?" And he was like, "Oh, he's weird. I don't like him." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Why were you so nice to him?" Oh, because I'm two faced to people, especially people I don't like. And I was like, "Oh, I mean, kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't, but okay, I'll let her rock." I never understood, or it never came to mind that that would also apply to me because she was so nice to me, like she was saying quote unquote all the right things, blah blah blah, blah. The next morning
what
she
you wanted to hear.
yes next morning she goes to her friends and talk smack, and I was just like, yo, okay, this is not gonna work out. We're not even trying to get anywhere, we were just trying to tie loose ends, but all right, okay. So that goes back to
So
what you said about you're gonna see that right flaws. And basically what I'm trying to say is if you want to build trust, right? If you want to really show that you've changed, if you really want to take that trust back, show them that what you were before when that mistake happened, what you were then is not you now. Why? Because you fixed whatever it is that was wrong with you then that caused that mistake, and you build yourself intrinsically, and that's when you build trust. I mean, trust comes from what you see and what you do. So if you yourself are a trustable person, then other people will trust you. And if they don't, then that's their problem. But for you, if you yourself know that what you're doing is right, if you're constantly improving yourself, then that'd be the best option, because at the end of the day,
mm,
it's all about you. it's
mm-hmm.
it's you. It's improving you. And the reason why you would want a relationship, it's for you. It's not necessarily for the other person. Not necessarily. I mean, it's part of the equation, but all in all, it's for you. That's why other people don't necessarily want a relationship, because I mean, they're fine by themselves. They're fine by themselves. Other people want a relationship because they like the feeling for themselves. They like the feeling of having one. So it's mostly all about you. So build yourself first. That's
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that should be like the next episode, right? When should you do it?
Just hey man, like my man AMS says, alpha male strategies, bro. Just freaking be on your purpose. That's it. Oh, you know? You know? Oh, you know? That's crazy. You know him. That's crazy. The ultimate. When you hear this, is just straight facts. Just straight facts coming out of his mouth.
I like
But
AMS
yeah,
and AMS and alpha male no alpha male strategies and AMS and mindful attractiveness or mindful attraction and AMS.
uh,
But
I
it's
still think AMS is a god, bro. Like that. Let me
yeah,
stop.
but that's because AMS is more in tune with his like he's like yeah, and
Masculinity,
alpha male strategies is an alpha male. Ah, jeez.
mindful
Mindful
attractiveness.
attraction. Mindful attraction is more mirroring, right? It's more in tune with their femininity a little bit. You feel me?
Hmm.
And using that to seduce. You know. Yeah, you're not. You're not
See, I don't know.
100%
For
male.
me, here's the thing for me, right? I don't like using the word seduce because I'm not trying to seduce anyone. I'm not. Like I'm
No,
not
I feel like
trying to.
no. For me, life isn't a seduction. You feel me? You gotta seduce life. That's for me.
I don't see, the thing is, I don't know. Not it's
What?
less seducing. It's more like, for me, it's more, I think about and I do the things that I want to do, and if that person aligns with what I do, right? If they have the same goals I do, then they come into my life, you know?
I
I'm
see.
not trying to seduce them to get into my life. I'm not trying to be, I'm not, because seducing means you'll do whatever it takes to get with that person. But here's the thing, there's just like,
I
there's
mean,
just,
that's an interpretation of it. I feel like as though seduction would also be getting what you want, but it depends on what you want. For me, what I would want is information about you. So I would seduce you to give me that information. And if that information doesn't match with my values and my standards, then I'm gonna
mm,
and slither away. You feel me?
yeah, I don't know. For me, I think the key point in a relationship is honesty.
Yes.
Like, cause I've been in situations where I would, somebody would like me and I would go out with them, and I sit them down like everybody, I sit them down and I talked about like what I wanted and what they wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what they wanted out of this and what I wanted out of this. So
What is your qualifications to be in the job position of my girlfriend?
yeah, like what qualifying qualities do you have? Qualifying qualities? anyways,
What
anyways,
qualified
so
qualification qualifies you to be in this?
okay. All right, brother. You can tone it down now. But yeah, I sit them down and I tell them, like, I ask them like what they want from me and what I want from them. I tell them exactly what I want from them.
Yeah.
And usually they would a question would come up, are you talking to more girls? And I just have to tell them the truth that if I was at the time, then yes, I'd tell them. I'd be like, yeah, I am. That's it. Yeah, I am. And if they ask how many, then I'll tell them how many. Basically, answer their question, be
Mhm.
truthful.
Mhm.
Because here's the thing, and this is kind of weird too. Even though they knew I was talking to more people,
Mm.
they still they liked me more because of it. Maybe
Mm.
not because of the fact that I'm talking to more girls, but more the fact that
You're being honest.
I'm being honest. I'm telling them the truth. Like I'm not trying to hide it from them, because here's the thing, the worst thing is for somebody to find out not coming from you,
Yes.
not coming directly from the source. That's the
Yes.
worst part. So I try to be honest as possible. If I can't say something, I just tell them I can't say that. Like if
Yeah.
because if somebody tells me in confidentiality, in confidence, I'm like, oh, I can't say that.
Mhm.
But basically, just be truthful and be honest, because that person will respect it 100%. They'll even like you more for it,
Mm.
even if you're talking to way more people. and and that sets up the whole talk about intentions. You have to tell them what your intentions are at that point, because at that moment, if you're sitting down with that person, you're talking about your relationship at the moment. You both have interest in one another, you know
Yeah.
not low interest, either medium or high interest. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you get to that medium or high interest point, then that's when you sit them down and talk about like where are we going to go next, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at that point, you tell them your intentions. Yeah, I just want to do this. Yeah, I just want to fling. Yeah, I want you to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
you know
Has to
that type
be.
of thing.
Yes. So also, I feel like we've talked and touched on a lot of points, and I guess we can wrap it up. Little
Hmm.
summarization in summary. So you can sum it up, bro. Sum it up.
Wow, put me on the spot like that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
definitely,
basically,
bro. Mhm.
okay, so basically, first you have to know what your intentions are with that person. You have to know who you are as a person, what you want for as a person, and from that person as well. And you also have to learn to trust yourself first and to trust them, right? Basically, once you know your intention, you can find out, you can you can scout, I guess, in your words, right? Scout for these people that you want, because you know exactly what you're looking for, so it'll be easy for you. You just got to find who that person is. It's like a filter, that you can check off. And and when you find that person, be honest with them. Don't lie to them, trust them, and make sure that they reciprocate those energies back to you.
Mhm.
Make sure you sit them down and you ask them what they want from the relationship and what you want from the relationship. Tell them.
Mhm.
Write a written agreement on what your relationship would be like, and follow the guidelines, and boom. you're
Yes.
in a relationship.
Gather information. Know the person first. Know yourself first.
Yep.
And that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of When the Bell Rings.
Bell
When
rings.
the bell rings, you feel me? This is
Thank you for watching.
yeah, this was a fun episode. I had fun. Though it
I
was
had fun
long,
too.
but really
It
passionate
didn't
about
feel like it
this.
didn't feel long. I
Yeah,
was,
definitely.
it was just like a conversation. Yeah.
Alright, so you wanna plug
Oh,
anything? Oh.
yeah. If you guys do actually want to come on our show and talk about these kind of stuff, either relationship or productivity or work or success, or just talk about
It's basically overall self
just
help.
talk about things, nothing political because I don't want to get into that. But if
I
you
mean like
guys
I would.
do,
I would. But not
I
not
would not.
not to like political in the sense that not that we would input our thoughts, but rather your thoughts into the show, not our thought. You feel me? Because
Okay,
we don't know
cool.
anything, so why would we? You
Yeah,
know,
like I wouldn't go there because
I would
I don't
like
know
it would be
anything
like
about
an
politics.
interview kind of. Not
Right.
really, but we'd
So
be
if
asking
you
them questions.
do want to come on our show, text either one of us, DM either one of us. We usually do our shows on Wednesdays. So be open. But today's Thursday. That's my bad. But yeah, so we usually do our shows on Wednesday, and just DM one of us. I think our Instagram will be linked down below, and we'll
Yes.
also share this on our Instagram, so you can follow us. DM us. We should make an Instagram page
For this? Nah.
for yeah,
Nah. Be like an
and you could
email.
like
I feel like an email
no,
address
that's stupid.
for
Anyway, just
this.
DM one of us.
Yeah.
Our Instagrams will be description below. Hit a like, press a like, smash that like button, subscribe, comment down. Alright, let me
Hit that
stop.
bell button with your nose. You feel me?
Notification squad. Let's stop. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're
We're
done.
done. All right. See you guys. Take care. Stay
Thank you
safe,
for watching.
especially in these times.